everyone, it's Jen from Gingerbell Designs, and today I'm going to show you a little walkthrough, well, a big walkthrough because this is a big album, of my completed 49&Market One Perfect Day wedding album. This album, like I said, is big and holds a lot of photos, but a wedding album, that's what you need a lot of photos for, right? So I had this idea to challenge myself and make something bigger and bolder than I normally do. And I will tell you, it was a lot, but I love the way it turned out. So this is done, like I said, using 49&Market's One Perfect Day, which is still available at Country Craft Creations. So if you have a wedding album to make, this paper is gorgeous. It's subtle, but it's gorgeous. I have some Prima flowers on here. The way I did this is in a gatefold style, so it is 9x9 with two 2.5-inch spines, as you can see. And I will flip this over so you can see the back. I also decorated the back, and there is the tonic mirrored cardstock on here for matting, as well as the 65-pound smooth white cardstock. Some of this gorgeous lace and some of the jute twine and ribbon and some of the ephemera pieces. A lot were used in here. All things from my design team kit. Or a design team package, if you refer back to my design team haul, you can see where all these products are. So I created this little mechanism that is a frame on the front. There is a photo mat inside. I will show you where this came from. So if you have this die and you use it, you'll want to be sure to save that. So we're going to go ahead and put that back in. That slides up under that frame. And it takes a little zhuzhing to get it in there, but it works. And then the flowers are kind of an optical illusion. So this one is actually attached to the album. This one is attached to the frame. And there are magnets, large basic grays I used. And I would highly suggest that because they're very strong and they're larger to get a good hold. Those are on the opposite side here. And then there are two under the panel here. So we're going to open this up. And the first thing I want to do is just show you when you open this all the way up that these two sides mirror each other. So the first one here will be just like that one. And this is a fun little waterfall. So you have all this room up here for photos. And then you have 6 waterfall pages. Now I used the solid cardstock that goes to this collection rather than putting craft paper down and then putting the paper on top. I just did it this way. It was easier. I did ink the outer edges of my cover in a darker brown than the inside. The inside is Vintage Photo Distress ink. So you can see that you have 6 pages on the waterfall, and then when you get to the last one, I placed one here too. So technically you can get pictures up here, at least 1 or 2, and then you have 6 of these, so you can get 12, 1 on each side, and then 1 here as well. You could also put a picture in here if you wanted to. Just keep in mind your magnets are there, and that's your closure, so you may not want to do that. And then this just ties shut. All right, and you see that little lone flower there. Then when you open this, part of the reason that this, and I will say, gatefold albums are beautiful, but they can be a little difficult when it comes to closing and getting them to close all the way. And I brainstormed and tried to think of a way to make this close a little easier and stay closed. And I couldn't come up with an exact thing, so there is still a little bit of movement. But I decided a lot of brides wear gloves at their weddings. And so I thought this box pocket idea was good to put here because it elevates that top page and makes the gatefolds sit a little bit better. If I was to do it again, I probably would have made it a tiny bit shorter because it did overlap, and I mentioned that in the tutorial. So basically, you could just pop this open. There is a magnet here and here, and you could put the bride's gloves in a protective packaging and slide them right in here as a keepsake, or you can use this for photos or anything that you like. I put this down as a pocket so that I could slip a fun photo mat in there. And I will tell you the photo mat, let me grab my ruler. The photo mat that fits in this pocket is 7¼ by 7¼ You could make it a little larger, but this is a tight fit. So added a little bit of that rib in there. And then again, we have our waterfall. It is the same. This one is just done in different colors. This was done in the grays or greens. And you get to that last one, and again, you have that same amount of spots. So you have a lot of room for photos just on those two side panels alone with the waterfalls underneath. And the waterfall here on the gatefold doors also helps with that thickness to keep the gatefold closed. So on the flip side of that, which this cannot really be pulled without lifting the album. That's another kind of thing I needed to try to figure out, but it does work. You can still put a photo here if you like, but it does not lay completely flat. So I think if I did this one again, I would do it a little, like I said, a little shorter and add a little bit more gusset to it so that it doesn't just stand there like so. So signature 1, there are 4 signatures. They are all pocket pages. So all of them have their own, well, that one actually goes in, I'm not quite sure why that one's there. Well, we'll set that one aside because I don't know where that goes. So for this one, we have a pocket flap on the front. And I took some of the ephemera that looked like frames, and I just matted those. And you can see that you can slide a trimmed photo. I left the tops of these open. Well, this one is. It's just sticking. See, you can slide photos in those. And then you have this nice big pocket here that you can add more to. And then our pocket page, I kept my photo mats very simple. I did use, in a couple places, I want to show you a couple punches that I used that were purchased from Country Craft Creations. So I did use this for my tabs. And I used this one in a couple of places as well. And these are both EK Success, and they are EK tools. They are available at Country Craft Creations and will be linked below. So what I was saying is I kept these really simple. And the ones that will fit nicely in these pockets are going to be 8 by 8. And you could, like I said, you could probably do them a little bigger, but I don't like stuff to fit too snugly. And so I just made them 8 by 8. Now, when you, oh, I see where that goes now. Everything's falling out of my album here because I'm lifting and trying. It's such a big album. It's hard to get it on my desk without things falling. So I'm going to lift this up carefully and try to get this on camera. So when you lift this flap, the underside flap, I put this frame that will frame out a 5 by 7 photo, and that's what this was that came out. So this just slides in, and you can put a photo on it and then slide it in here, is what this was meant for. It is a little bit tricky, but it works. I promise it works. It's just a little tight. You could gusset it and it would be a little bit easier. I was just afraid the photos would fall out if I did that. And then, of course, the underside here has stacked pockets. Just going to pop that tag in there. And we will open this way. And on this page here, we have, I used the church ephemera and I just kind of popped it down here as a tuck spot. Have a fun little photo mat on here with some of the ephemera wording. You could put a picture on here and put one underneath here. And that just slides right in there. And then this flips open. I did put the bride's dress all the way down onto the page because I didn't want it to cause an issue. And this is not a pocket. This is just looks. But you could make these tuck spots if you wanted. This one is a tuck pocket. And I just popped a little bit of ephemera up on that and some of the leftover paper. I will tell you, I used 2 sheets. I had 2 sheets of all the solid colors and all of the collection, and I used them all on this album, plus an entire package of craft artisan, plus a couple pieces, and then the white cardstock to a lot of paper. So this one is 7.5 by 8, and I did use some ivory 110-pound paper from my stash. And the reason for that is I wanted these photo mats to be simple, but I wanted them to be a little thicker. So that is that flap. When we open this side, now this is where I cut that piece off that you saw. I have they're probably in my drawer over here. These I purchased from Crunchy Craft Creations a couple of years ago. So if you happen to have these, and I mentioned this in my tutorial, the Heartfelt Creations album tags and accents, I used these two here to create this pocket. And I show you in my tutorial how to do that, as well as tell you how you can do it if you don't have those dies. So anyways, when you open this little pocket up here, I used the jute here. This has a fun little tag inside of it, and that tag is 3 3/4 by 7 3/4, and that fits nicely inside of there. And again, I used that 110-pound. For the tie, I took jute, I popped a little hole up here and made my own little hole reinforcer, and I just slipped this through like I would a tag, and then I put my top down. And then it's very simple to just tie this to hold that in place. And it looks pretty too, so. I did also, when I decorated, I will let you know that all of my decorating, whoops, I don't want a knot there. All of my decorating is done, every part of this was matted with the 65-pound smooth white. And it is all 1/8 of an inch, both height and width, smaller than the pages, and as well as the decorative paper. So everything, I went down 1/8 of an inch for each piece. And I just want to let you know that, since I don't do all of my decorating on camera. I did use scraps and leftovers and went back in and covered all of my 1/2 inch spaces. So this flap opens, and there's a spot here that you can put stuff. Don't think I made that a tuck spot. No, it's just for looks. And I have this fun little photo mat for a 5 by 7. It's 5.5 by 7.5. You could fit a bigger one in this pocket. I just chose to do it that way. Again, we have another one of those photo mats. They're all the same, 8 by 8 with that little tab. And we're going to go to this side here. This has a fun little flap. You can put a picture here, picture here, picture here, and then again, a little photo mat. This one I do believe is bigger. This one's 7.5 by 7.5. And this one is just plain white. I did not go crazy with that one. I wanted to keep some simplicity being a wedding album. Plus, I have all the ephemera that I have left over. I'm probably going to keep. And if I give this as a gift or use it for myself, then I have that ephemera to use to tack down pictures. Never ever throw out your ephemera if you don't use it all. So this is another fun one. We have the page, and this is our place card. So it acts as a photo mat. I should have covered the back of that in white. I will go back and do that. So we have 7.5 by 5.5. And this is acting as a placeholder for our flap. So this page has 3 flaps. You can put a picture here, 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 and here. And then when you open this, you can also put another photo mat under if you wanted to. And I have that fun little car shaped down there. And that is put on as a tuck spot. So you can tuck something under. And again, we have our pocket here that this goes in. A little tip. Push down on this one and slide in. That will eliminate messing with your corners of your papers. Again, we have the pocket page. So there's another one of those tabbed photo mats in here. Flip this to this side. And here, let me grab a small piece of paper. This is not a very good size. I'm going to cut this really quick so I can show you. So on this page, we have a double belly band with 2 photo mats. The smaller photo mat is 6 7/8 by 6 7/8, and the larger one underneath is 7 7/8 by 7 7/8. And I popped up some ephemera on these as well. And they're easy to get out by those tabs of the cute little ephemera pieces. This one goes in here. Again, I'm going to push down on my tab. Well, this one I'm going to pull up because it's easier. Okay. So for this little guy here, I actually put this on only on the side of a piece of the paper so that you could, if you wanted to, trim a photo and put it inside that oval. Super fun stuff. All right, this last signature is another fun one. So this is, in essence, another gatefold type. So this little piece of ephemera I popped up on some of the solid cardstock. This will slide all the way up, and you can pull it right out of there. And then this opens. So these 2 strips on the bottom are what is going to stop this from falling out of the bottom of your book. When you push down, this will go up against these. They're just thick enough. If you use regular craft paper, excuse me, for the back of that. So you have those there, all this room for photos. And we open it up again, and we have those stripes going all the way across, more room for photos. Okay, now when you put this back in, it can be a little bit crazy. You just kind of want to flare out your wings a little bit and slide it under the doors. And I did a door because I could see right where my center is by looking at the middle of the door. Hopefully my head's not in the camera. There we go. So as you'll see, when I go all the way down and push this down, it stops because it's catching on those 2. I wouldn't suggest pushing it too hard because you don't want to mess up your stripes. But so this is a pocket page, and it has another photo mat that pulls out. And then on the back side, we have some vertical stacked pockets. So you have a pocket here and a pocket here for things. This back pocket here, I really wanted to add some more of that gorgeous lace. So I have a pocket back here with that lace. And a huge photo mat. Again, another one I need to cover in white. I ran out. I used a lot of paper in this album. This is an 8x8. And then, of course, 7 7/8 by 7 7/8 would be our white paper. So that is my album. When you close this, you're going to want to close all of these pages first and then pick up your box pocket. And then you can find your magnet. Kind of have to hold that flower too because it is what it is. All right, just zhuzh it up a little bit. Just noticed this little flower is going crazy here. Okay, so that is my album. I hope you guys love it, and I do. It was a lot of work, but I absolutely love it, and I will have a tutorial up for you next. Have a great day. Bye-bye.